Okay, hello Cloud Animators, and today I'm going to show you how to create, we're going to go through this tutorial on how to create a very cool, snazzy looking storybook cutout scene like this. So you're going to see some of these animations with buildings popping up and some of the elements that come in. These have motion effects, and then you can actually have them leave after a certain period of time. So I'm going to show you how easy it is to create something like this, which we've seen in so many infographic videos in the past. And it's all very simple, thanks to the Cloud Animator service, because it's just a matter of bringing in assets and then arranging them with different timings and choosing different motion effects. So what we want to do, I'm going to open the advanced mode here at the bottom, and I'm going to show you exactly what I'm talking about. So we have different items here like the road, we have the city, and then we have the fire station, the hotel, and everything else. And everything has different timings. They have their own motion effects built into them also. I can scroll down and you can see that some of these elements also have exit motion effects at the end. So it's very simple, very easy to create a project like this. And we are going to recreate one from the start. So I'm going to open a blank scene here, a brand new scene. And the first thing I wish to do is I want to emulate that sky. I want a nice little blue sky. So I can bring in a background, I can drop this in, or I can actually go to settings here, and this will bring me to the background color of the settings. And I can easily choose a color that I'd like for that sky. Something bluish, looks like a nice sky. I think that would look great. I like that. Okay, so what do we do next? Well, how about we grab some images and we start bringing in these elements for the road and the city and whatnot. So I've already imported some of these. I'm going to go to custom here and I have my images. Yes, let me go down and I will simply start clicking on some of these assets to import them. Okay, and I can stretch them out. I can do this manually as I'm doing it right now, or I can play with scale. I can do this if I'd like to give it specific values. So we've got our road. Now what we need is the city, that background city here. So we have that element also, this PNG that I uploaded before, the city one here. And I simply have to I could arrange it, but let me give it a scale of 80%. Okay, and we're going to bring this up a bit, and I think it should look okay like that. Yeah, that's not bad. Let me bring it, let me make it smaller a bit, or let's leave it at 80. Okay, so I can go in and grab another one, or I can duplicate this, which is what I always recommend. You don't have to reinvent the wheel. If you put in that effort, just duplicate it, and it's very easy to play with that later on. Okay, so we've got this background, and I don't wish to play with this any longer. So in order to avoid making any mistakes while dragging stuff on top of it, we're going to lock this down. I'm going to lock the road and lock the two city scenes in the background. Okay. And now what we want to do is start adding these buildings. So as you guessed, for the buildings, it's very simple. I just drag and bring them in. I can scale these again. Give me 80%. And because the X and Y are linked, so the Y will also be 80%, and that makes it a lot easier. So here, what I like to do is, instead of bringing in another asset, there's a little trick. I can actually duplicate this, bring it to the side, okay? And then I could replace it. I want to replace this with another image. So what I'm doing here is that if I copy this, at the same time I can also copy the effect that I drop into this object. So I'm not going to show that right now. Right now I just want to keep that size, and I want to keep that position. I want to keep those values inside my element, which are saved inside the keyframe. So if I want to replace only the visuals of that element, I can go up here onto the side. It says switch to image. And then I can go in and I can select a different image. Okay, you see that? And then if I want to make sure that I'm using the correct proportions, the original proportions of that new image that I'm bringing in, I can right click. Whoa, hold up. Right click and click Fit. Okay, and that'll ensure that I am bringing the original proportions of this new image, of this new prop that I have. All right, let me squeeze these in. And let's do the next one. I'm going to select it. I'm going to duplicate it, bring it to the right, and then we wish to replace that image, right? So let's replace, switch to image, and let's find that other building. Let's choose the market. All right, that looks good. So I'm going to right click, just hold that right click, and then fit. That'll ensure that I fit the correct proportion of my image. And we're going to do this repeatedly with the other elements. What's the next element that we had? I think it should be some gray building. Hold up. I'm looking at the image here on the left. A police station. Yes. There we go. Police station. Right click and fit. Okay, and I make sure that we have that right proportion. All right, let's do that again. Bring it to the side. And then now that we have it selected, I'm going to replace that image. And this time around, I am going to choose, I think we have a church in here. Nice little church. Where are you? Or I'm sorry, it's a school. So we have the school right there. Let me move this a bit. And fit. And that looks actually pretty good. I like it. Bring this down a bit. All right, so we're almost done. I'm going to duplicate this one more time, bring it to the side, and this time we're going to replace this one with, you guessed it, the police station. I think it is the police station, or is it the gas station? I think it's the gas station right there. Boom, we have that gas station. And then finally, hold the right button on it, fit, to make sure we have that correct proportion. Great. So now we have all these items here. Let me bring that right there. And we are ready. So, but what about if I wish to add the effects? If I wanted to add the effects to these to have them pop up. So I can obviously do this manually each time. Right now when I have this here, I can start adding the motion effects and I can copy that. And every time I copy it, I'll be copying the scale, the motion effect, the position, and that will translate to each and every element that I'm adding. But I'm going to do that until the very end. Right now what I want to do is I want to fill up my screen with all the elements that I need. So let's go to Park, and we're going to bring this in. Let's give this an 80% also, so that would be 0.8. Yep. And squeeze it in there. Yeah, something like that. And duplicate this puppy. Bring it to the right. And that looks okay. I like that. Okay, great. So what else do we need in the scene? We have all our buildings, we have our park, and then we have our vehicles. Okay, notice the vehicles that we're going to bring in. We're going to bring a car, a motorcycle, a bus, and a bicycle. So we have all of these inside. It's very, very easy. I just click, we have it in. Great. What about that motorbike? That motorbike is going in a specific direction. I think it's this one here. Oh, not the car, the motorbike. Like that. And I can scale this down a bit just to make it accurate per se. What else do we need? We need that bus, that little yellow bus. Here we go. So we're going to have this bus here facing towards this side. Now, obviously, because I pulled in this bus after I dropped in the park, it's actually trampling that park asset that we have. So what we can do is just make sure that you push this backwards. I can bring to front or I can send to back. But not all the way to the back, because then you'll place this behind the road. I don't want to do that. I just want to send back until it's behind that park. Okay? And I think just like that, that'll look nice. And then finally, we need our bicycle. Where is our bicycle? This one. And we have our bike. And let's adjust the size of our bike. And we can bring it here, or we can move it to the other place. Let's move this one here and place this one right there. Great. Now we have all our assets ready, and it's time for some animation. So the first thing I'd like to do is work with the buildings. So I want to drop in some motion effects to those buildings. So I'm going to work first of all with the fire station. That's the first one, and we have it selected. I'm going to go to motion effects, and then we have several motions that we can choose. Let me just hover over. Let me scale this up so you can see. We have enlarge, we have whirl. Remember that I want to work with the entrance ones. Let me scroll down here a bit. We have this move. Yeah, it looks okay. But for buildings, I want them to pop up, right? I want them to grow, sort of. So I believe that we have a pop-up effect here somewhere. Enlarge, no. Rolling, no. Let's see what's the effect that we had at the beginning here. See, boop, boop, boop. They're all like growing from the ground. So that's the type of effect that we want. So we just have to go all the way down until we find it. I believe this should be, what effect is this? Let's try moving. Well, actually moving here doesn't look so bad. Let's go down here, this one. Boom. I think this could work. So let's select that one, and then we're going to choose bottom to top. Boom. Okay. I think that should look okay. Let's do that medium. Boom. Okay. And yeah, that could work. That could work. Let's see, enlarge. That could work too. Let me see that one. And do bottom to top. Yeah, we can probably choose that. I believe that if we go inside, we can also, if we go into the original one, we can try to see the name of that first one that we were using. This is called a zoom, see, zoom 03. So I think that we can use that. Zoom 3, fast, and origin from the bottom. Done. That was the secret right there. So we're going to go in, and we're going to select zoom 3. We're going to choose fast, and we're going to bring it up from the bottom. Perfect. That's the one we want. See that effect? Boink. Yep, that's the one we want. So I'm going to repeat the same thing for everything else. I'm going to go to zoom 3. We're going to do this, I think, fast, and this is coming from the bottom. Now, notice that the advantage of just copying things is if I wouldn't have to do this for each and every asset. If I were doing if I would have just copied the first one, drop in one element, scale it, position it, drop in an effect, then I can just copy paste over and over again prior to replacing that image. So I don't have to go through all this process every single time. But of course, this is a tutorial and we are learning. So, boop, here we go. We're missing one, which would be that one. So this guy should be zoom 3 and bottom to top. Great. That looks nice. So let's go for the next one. Let's see what else. We want the park. The park. We want that to happen with the park also. So let's go. We know which one we need. Zoom 3. Fast from the bottom. Thank you. User will also get the zoom 3 treatment with the zoom origin from the bottom. Great. So if I play this back, boink, they all appear. All right, so now it's just a matter of playing with the cars, with the vehicles. So for these are pretty simple. I can choose moving, rolling, fade in, but I want something with an elastic effect, like this one, moving. This is very nice. Boink. Okay, so I'm going to have this one come in from the right. So I'm going to select that. I'm going to choose right to left, okay, and I'm going to choose medium, yeah. So then I'm going to go to the motorcycle. This will do the same thing, but I want it to come from left to right. We have medium also, okay, and then let's go to the bus. Same effect, moving, and this would come from the right to left. Let's choose this medium, and finally the bicycle too. Let's choose moving. Is it moving? I'm sorry. Yes, it is moving. And right to left, I think. Let's see. Moving right to left. All right. And let's do this medium. So let's see what this looks like at the end. Click outside. Okay, that looks okay. Great. So we have our scene and we have some of these effects. But let's say I wish to have these effects play in sequence. I don't want all of them to play at once. So I want them to play in sequence. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to start first with my city, right? With my buildings. I want them to pop up one at a time. And we do this simply by arranging that timing for each and every one. So it's very, very simple. I simply have to, let's say, grab the fire station here, drag it to the right. I'll do the same for the hotel, but I'll pass the fire station by, I don't know, half a second or so, like that. And I'll do that for each and every asset. Look at that. I'll do that for the school, the gas station, and finally the park. The park are the two parks later on, but I want these to pop up at the same time. I don't want a cascade effect. And once we have all these elements jump in, then I want the car to appear, the motorcycle, and then the bus, and finally the bicycle. Okay? So we have a cascade effect at the end. So let me play this back. We have building one, boom, boom, boom. And then we have the first, okay, the park, and then wheel, zoom, motorcycle, bus, and the bicycle. Great. So see how simple that is. So then at the end, I can choose if I want to, how long I want my project to last. Notice that the background disappeared. This is because up to this point here, we no longer have those time tracks running. So I can basically just decide, all right, I want my project to end there. That is the end limit of my project. And then I can make sure that all my other elements are finishing up until that point. Okay, very, very quickly like that. So you don't have to do this if you don't want. I basically want everything to start at a specific time and I want it to end in a specific time too. So I prefer to do this here. Of course, this is really, really quickly. Imagine how long would it take you to create an animation like this in any other platform. It'll take you a bit longer. But thanks to these time tracks, you save a lot of time, and obviously thanks to all these elastic motions that we have here, it makes it very, very easy to not just add them, but just to manage all these projects. All right, so at the end, let's say I want my red car to disappear. I can choose an exit, and I can choose the same moving again. Let's see, moving 03, yep, and we can have them exit, and I can choose a specific place. So this one came from right to left. I can have them exit left to right, medium speed. Okay, and I can do the same for my motorcycle. This will want an exit. I want to move it. Let's say moving, which one? The bouncy one? Yeah, we can choose that one. Was that the same one? Was that the same one? That one is called moving. Yes, right beside the rolling one. So I'm going to choose that. Exit, not an emphasis. You need to be careful when you're selecting these because you want to make sure that you don't accidentally select the wrong one. So left to right, that should be okay, medium speed. Then I'm going to go to cars, exit please, moving, and this bus here, this car is going from right to left. That's the way I want him to exit. And then lastly, we are going to go for the bike. And exit again, moving. And this one is going to exit. Notice the direction of the bicycle. So I want him to exit from right to left. And we can choose medium or fast. All right, so we have our project ready. Let's see what it looks like. Let me bring this down a bit. So we have our city. Boop, 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 boop. all the buildings come in, then the parks. At the same time, then we have our vehicle. We have the car, we have the motorcycle, the bus, the bike, and then they start leaving sequentially, right where we start playing. Vroom. And there we go. That's how you create a very, very cute storyboard effect with the Cloud Animator service, thanks to the time tracks and the motion effects that we have inside. All right, so we hope you can use this tutorial. Thank you very much for watching this, and stay tuned with the Cloud Animator service. Thank you.